Hi, W0TM, Wodum, Gary. Why is gold worth anything? By the way, I'm watching a video on flying saucers. I don't know if it's kids' toys or it's for real or not. It's a YouTube video. Hopefully that doesn't mind me broadcasting this video for him. Who knows, maybe he'll pick up some new viewers. Hope he does. Best of luck to him. Anyway, gold is a very unique, precious metal. Gold, let me talk about gold and silver both, because they are both intertwined. Gold is, what's it good for? Well, the answer is essentially nothing, almost nothing. There are a few medical uses of gold, but very few. There are a few industrial uses of gold, very few. It's used in gold flashing in electronics. If you're in electronics, you know what that means. If you don't, I'm not going to explain it to you. It's not worth it. Look it up if you want. Gold is mostly a store of value, long-term store of worth. That's it. You know, nothing more, nothing less. The price of it is set by the people, the powers that be, you know, the ones that are, at least they think they're way above us, and they think they run the world, and they think that they can set the price of gold and silver, and that's what it is, and so far they kind of do it. They manipulate illegally the price of gold and silver, and they do it numerous ways, by derivatives, mostly by issuing paper, gold, and silver, which is mostly just an IOU, saying, I owe you 1 ounce of silver, you know, and there are more pieces of paper silver, which is primarily stock symbol SLV and GLD for silver and gold, on the stock exchanges of the world than is mined physical silver and gold in the entire world in an entire year, which makes it impossible that those IOUs are anything more than just a piece of paper, because you could not come up with the gold. Those IOUs, if you read them, and most people don't, they say, you know, we've got this silver and gold stuck in the vault, and you know, when we need more, we go buy more off the open market and so forth. No, they don't. I don't believe most of that gold and silver exists any more than I believe there's much U.S. owned gold in Fort Knox. There is gold in Fort Knox, but I don't think the U.S. owns very much of it, if any. And like the LBMA in England and other areas, or other vaults in the world. Who owns it? That's a whole nother video, so let's not get into that. But with gold, the current price around $1,250, current price of silver around $16.50, $17, is manipulated pricing. When they want it right now, they want to keep the price down low for various reasons, mostly to make money. You know, they bankers, also called banksters, short for bank and gangsters put together, by people that don't care much for the bankers, that do nasty bad things to the world and literally run governments. And if you think that the governments of this world are running the show, well, you have another thing coming. The banks, the financial institutions, and the Rothschilds of the world and so forth, they're the ones running this world, and that's going to continue. With gold, I don't understand why people don't have a fear of gold, but they don't. They see it as the most stable metal there is. I just finished an 11-page article on how to protect yourself in the coming era of bail-ins in banks, which I'll put in the show notes. I'm going to do another video on bail-ins because I think that's coming, and it's going to be very scary, and it's going to wipe out. If you have a lot of money in, or if you have your savings stuck in banks, right now in certain banks, and how many of them, I don't know. If you have money stuck in IRAs, 401ks, so forth, there's a good chance within a couple of years it's going to be gone. And in place of it, you will have certificates saying that you hereby own 1 share of bank, First National Bank of upper, whatever. And the only thing is that bank is going to be bankrupt 6 times over. All you have to do is put in the word Cyprus and bail-in and read all about that. 90, virtually all the banks in Cyprus are bankrupt many times over, which means the people they were forced to trade the money they had in banks to in exchange for bank certificates, bank ownership. Only thing is, those bank certificates are right now trading for about 3 cents on the dollar. The same thing happened in Argentina. It's currently happening in Greece. It'll probably happen in the Ukraine. There's another dozen countries it's about to happen in. The G20, which is made up of 20 of the most important financial countries. The G20 makes up about 98% of the finances of this world. They've recently redone their wording of bail-ins, which really should put the fear in you. If you go back and read recent meeting of G20 concerning bail-in, put that in Google and read the wording changes that they made, and you'll see that they got their crosshairs stuck on the savings that you have. They will have a deductible of maybe $5,000 or $8,000 for the majority of people. That's what they have in savings, and by not touching their savings, they're not going to make those people mad. The people they'll make mad are in the minority. The people that have 300,000, 200,000, 100,000, whatever, in an IRA, 401k, savings, and I believe money markets. I'm still not sure about that. That's a big thing for me, because money markets actually are short-term bonds. They're not savings at all. And also, you never want to put anything of value in a safety deposit box. Hopefully all of you know that. If you read the fine print of your safety deposit box, you will see that the first owner of your safety deposit box is the government. You do not own your safety deposit box. The safety deposit box is owned by the government. You are a secondary owner of the box. So if they want to come in and lock up the bank and take it out, take anything out they want, and if they leave you anything in place of it, they can do it. FDR did it in 1932. Left $20 behind for every gold piece that he found. But this time, I don't think they'll leave a thing. They'll just saw open the safety deposit boxes and clean them out of any silver and gold and diamonds and jewelry and pearls and whatever, and they'll just take them. And they, by the letter of law, they have the right to take those things. So anyway, with gold, the bottom line is, if you think about it, what would happen if, heaven forbid, an Armageddon situation were to occur in this world? The chances of an Armageddon is like 0.1%, almost nothing. But tell that to the people in Argentina, or in the Ukraine, Afghanistan, Iraq, whatever, 20 years ago, because the things that are happening now, if you ask them 30 years ago, could your neighbor be losing his head over things? And they said, you're crazy. We're having a nice, quiet, middle-class life, and life is good, and, well, no, it isn't. Their block is now just a pile of rubble, and they have no drinking water. They're starving to death. It's just a terrible mess. So don't say it can't happen, because it can happen anywhere. And what would happen if some of the major countries ran into financial problems to the point that they were required to sell some of their sovereign wealth funds? A sovereign wealth fund is basically the baseline savings of a country. And sovereign wealth funds is made up of gold more than anything else. You go to a country like China, and it's really made up of gold. You know, almost all of the sovereign wealth of China is gold. The same thing in Russia. Several other countries are that way. United States fakes it, say, oh yeah, we got all this Fort Knox gold. United States claims to have more gold than any country in the world and always has had. Now, if they did, they would do a tour of Fort Knox and show off the gold and put an end to the guessing game that's going on. So if that happened, and all of a sudden tons and tons and tons and tons of gold were thrown on the open market to the highest bidder, countries desperate, trying to stay alive, you know, just to feed their people and not to lose a war and, you know, be in terrible straits, they would be forced to throw their gold onto, or some of their gold onto an open market. What would the price of gold be if the major holders of gold threw it on the market at any price it would bring? Well, you know, the answer is obvious. The price of gold would plummet. And with that, the price of silver would go up, and the price of silver would pass gold as it's going down. The price of silver would shoot up, the price of gold would shoot down. They would meet somewhere in the middle, and there have been times in history when silver was worth more than gold. You can go look that up for various reasons. I won't go into them all. You can look them up yourself. But the same thing here. So I do not consider gold to be a safe reservoir or place of to put your money for. I don't consider gold to be for speculators, for investors. I consider gold and silver to be a store of long-term wealth. You know, something that your great-great-great-grandchildren will hopefully still have. Something that if some worse comes to worse, it can, you know, maybe buy the life of your family. I mean, or it can buy the food and water that is the only way to get it, you know, to stay alive. Something beyond serious. That's what I consider to be, you know, if you've got a silver stuffed away, I don't even look at the price of silver. I don't look at, you know, I don't care. I know it has a worth, and I know it will have a worth, and it will still be money. It was money 5,000 years ago. It will be money 5,000 years from now, especially when it starts to run out, and that I see coming very soon. The amount of silver left in this world is now less than 1%. I was, as I say, I was the only silver counter in the United States for a period of time, working for the Atomic Energy Commission. If you want to know why, go back and look at my other videos, and I'll explain. And I explain why. And it was not an important job, but I did it anyway. And that's when I first realized how stable silver was and how silver was going to be running out in the near future. I didn't think it'd be in my lifetime, but I thought it would be a good investment. So I didn't know that silver would be, all of a sudden electronics would boom and silver would find all these applications and so on and so forth. So anyway, bottom line, why is gold worth anything? Personally, gold is worth something because the powers to be say it is. Silver is worth X dollars because people say it is, and because it has an industrial use. It has over 10,000 industrial uses. It will always have a value. You will always be able to get money for silver because you find silver today in toothpaste. You find it in sprays that go on clothing to wick off sweat. You find silver just everywhere, and that's going to continue. So I have great faith in silver, and I do not have the same faith in gold. Having said that, the chances of these big countries having to unload their sovereign wealth funds at bargain basement prices we'll probably see Martians land on the White House steps or front lawn before we see something like that happen. But never say never. So because of that, when somebody asks me, should I buy gold? Should I want to get precious metals? Do you recommend gold or silver? I always recommend American silver eagles, and reasons I recommend that versus bars of silver, whatever, that's another story. But I always recommend silver over gold. So interested in any comments you have. If you're a gold bug, especially, please leave me some comments. I'd like to hear them. If they're emotion-based, that's fine. Go ahead and pontificate if you like. You probably won't get much of you'll get an answer from me, but it won't really say much. I'm a fact-based engineer, boring type of fella. So that's just the way I am. Fact-based, truth, so on and so forth. So anyway, it's into that video, and hope you got something out of it. And this is W0TM signing off. See you later. Bye.